Hi, meteorologist Tony Petrarca of the Pinpoint 12 Weather Center, along with meteorologist Pete Mangione. Hey, we hit 82 degrees today.
Yes, I know.
Feeling like summer. And of course, with summertime like weather, you get the risk for showers and thunderstorms. So, we got one of those situations this evening where some locations may get, a strong shower, a strong thunderstorm, and maybe even borderline severe.
Yeah, that's right. And we're favoring for that to happen in northern Rhode Island, but we're going to be watching our entire forecast area, obviously. But it looks like, northern Rhode Island, maybe even northern Bristol County, Massachusetts, certainly northern Connecticut, central Massachusetts, we're going to have to monitor that closely.
Yeah, because the temperatures there are warmer, and these storms feed on very warm air. So specifically, they do well, or they do better when the atmosphere is warm. So it's one of those situations where probably not every town and community is going to get a strong thunderstorm.
Exactly.
All right, so this is what we're looking at, Pete. Take a look outside, and you can see, it feels like summer. And notice, Pete, on the severe thunderstorm watch, even though it doesn't include our area, we're not in the yellow, that's until 9 o'clock in the evening. Usually when you're close to that watch, those areas that are lined up along that yellow outer boundary, you still have to be on the lookout.
Yeah, no doubt, and we've already seen some pretty heavy downpours in northern Rhode Island, north of west of 295 this afternoon.
Yeah, as of this taping, we're taping this as of 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I know you were tracking, you just tweeted out kind of a little downpour. What was it, northwest Rhode Island?
Yeah, it was heading right over, I think, Route 44, and it may not get too much of the ocean state, but certainly some very heavy rain. Fortunately, this doesn't last very long, but some of our radar estimates, which are basically kind of taking a reasonable guess at how hard the rain is falling, 1 maybe 2 inches an hour. That's coming down hard.
And you can see, and what Pete had mentioned earlier about the highest chances being the northern part of the state, as far as the northwest areas of Providence, north and west of the city, the highest chance of thunder and perhaps strong thunder. Doesn't mean that the coastline will not see any showers or storms. We just think as though the better chance of something, let's get our mug out of the way here, the better chance for something stronger late this afternoon and early evening, those areas in red. And we're thinking, the window of opportunity is roughly from about 5 in the afternoon till about 9 o'clock in the evening. As you know, Pete, not all thunderstorms obviously are severe. We have certain criteria in order for a storm to be severe, and of course, the more common one is getting hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger, and the wind gusts, those straight line winds, up to 58 miles per hour.
Right, and it is important to point out, even when you don't have a severe thunderstorm, you can still have very heavy rain, you can still have lightning, so even non-severe thunderstorms can have impact, right?
Yeah, you do have a good point. You can still get the heavy rain, and regardless of severity, all thunderstorms have lightning, and obviously lightning needs to be respected, and that chance of some lightning is there. That's the cell that Pete was talking about. We were tracking this one. It's not severe, right? Last you checked?
Correct.
Now, this is as of 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So here's an example of a downpour, maybe a thunderstorm, but not necessarily severe. Excuse me, but when you widen out the view, there's more activity off to our west that we'll have to monitor. So here's the forecast at 7 o'clock in the evening. Still, some lingering showers or perhaps strong thunderstorms. And then notice by later in the evening and overnight, we're fine. This sets up for a breezy, dry, cooler day tomorrow. We're not hitting 82, more like the lower 70s. So decent on Tuesday, just not as warm or as humid. So for this evening, and again, we're talking about roughly from 5 until 9 o'clock in the evening. A scattered shower or thunderstorm. I think once we get beyond 9 o'clock in the evening, the risk will come down. And as Pete had mentioned, it's not every town and every community will get one. They tend to be random and localized, but something that we'll be watching very closely. Of course, you'll be tweeting things out as necessary. So keep it here. Our newscast starts at 5 o'clock this evening through 7 o'clock, and that's probably the window of opportunity for some scattered strong thunderstorms, and we'll be monitoring the radar. So we're watching it closely.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you just mentioned, that threat going until maybe 8 or 9 p.m. Sometimes when the sun goes down, the threat's over. This is a little different because until that front comes through, there's a lot of mild, humid air to work with. So we still need that front to clear. So that's why, as you mentioned, you extend that threat probably a few hours after sunset, right?
Speaking of severe thunderstorms, out in the Central Plains, Tornado Alley, specifically out towards Oklahoma and Texas, that's going to be making national news. A big outbreak of severe weather there. So we're going to be monitoring that as well. Not that that's headed our way, but that is making national news. And we have our own kind of thing that we're watching right now as far as the potential for some strong thunderstorms. So that is the latest. Thanks for logging in. We'll talk to you soon.